Good day. I'm John Ronnie, an Algebra 2 teacher. Today, I'm excited to share with you some insights on culturally responsive teaching in Algebra 2 for English language learners. As educators, we're constantly seeking ways to improve our practice and reach all our students effectively. This presentation aims to provide practical strategies that we can implement in our math classrooms to better serve our diverse students population, particularly our English language learners. Let's start by defining what we mean by cultural responsiveness. At its core, culturally responsive teaching involves using students' cultural experiences in daily instruction. It is about embracing and valuing the diverse backgrounds that our students bring to the classroom. In practice, this means connecting our curriculum to students' lives and interests. It's about creating an inclusive learning environment where every student feels seen, heard, and valued. As Algebra 2 teacher, we might think our subject is purely abstract, but I assure you, there are numerous ways we can make it culturally responsive. Now, let's dive into how we can plan culturally responsive Algebra 2 instruction. The first step is to learn about our students' cultural backgrounds and experiences. This could involve surveys at the beginning of the year, informal conversations, or even home visits if your school supports that. Once we understand our students better, we can use real world examples relevant to their lives. For instance, instead of generic word problems, we might use scenarios that reflect the local community or students' interests. It's also crucial to incorporate diverse perspective in our word problems. This could mean featuring names from various cultures or referencing cultural practices and events in our examples. Remember, there's often more than one way to solve a problem in Algebra 2. By allowing and encouraging multiple approaches to problem solving, we validate different cultural ways of thinking and processing information. Lastly, encourage collaborative learning and discussion. Many cultures value communal learning, and this approach can be particularly beneficial for our ELL students. Now, let's address a common issue in many classrooms: passive learning. This is when this is when students are expected to be passive recipient of information, often in a lecture style format. This approach doesn't work well with ELLs for several reasons. First, it provides limited opportunities for language practice. Our ELL students need chances to use academic language in meaningful contexts. Secondly, passive learning often leads to lack of engagement and interaction. For ELLs who are still developing their language skills, this can be particularly demotivating. Lastly, ELLs may have difficulty processing complex concepts without active involvement. Algebra 2 is challenging enough in one's native language. Imagine trying to grasp these concepts while also navigating a new language. So, what can we do instead? Here are some effective approaches for teaching Algebra 2 to ELLs. First, cooperative learning groups. This allows ELLs to practice language skills in a low pressured environment while also engaging with mathematical concepts. Number two, visual aids and manipulatives. This can help bridge the language gap and provide concrete representations of abstract concepts. Number three, think, pair, share activities. This strategy gives students time to process information, discuss with a peer, and then share with the class, building both language and math skills. Number four, vocabulary development. Use word walls and graphic organizers to help ELLs master the academic language of Algebra 2. When working with ELL students, there are several important considerations. First, assess language proficiency levels. This will help you tailor your instruction appropriately. Provide scaffolding and differentiated instruction. This might mean providing sentence frames for mathematical discussions or offering multiple representations of a concept. Allow use of primary language for clarification. If possible, let students discuss concepts in their native language to ensure understanding. Often extended wait time for responses. ELLs often need more time to process questions and formulate responses in English. Use gestures and visual cues to support understanding. These can help bridge language gaps and reinforce key concepts. As a teacher in a diverse classroom, I have several key responsibilities. First, create an inclusive and respectful learning environment where all students feel valued. Number two, adapt our instruction to meet diverse needs, which may mean adjusting our teaching style or materials. Number three, advocate for equitable resources and support for all our students. Number four, continuously educate ourselves about cultural diversity. This is an ongoing process, not a one time event. And number five, collaborate with families and community members to better understand and support our students. Recent research has provided new insights into teaching ELLs. We now understand the importance of sociocultural factors in language acquisition. Learning a language isn't just about vocabulary and grammar, it's deeply tied to social and cultural context. I've also learned more about long term English learners who face unique challenges. These students may have been in English language programs for years but still struggle for academic language. Lastly, it is important to be aware of common misconceptions about teaching English learners. These misconceptions, if left unchallenged, can hinder student progress. To promote academic success for ELLs in Algebra 2, number one, set high expectations for all students. ELLs are capable of high level mathematical thinking, even if they're still developing their English skills. Provide opportunities for academic language development. This means intentionally teaching and practicing the language of mathematics. Foster a growth mindset and resilience. Learning a new language while mastering Algebra 2 is challenging, and students need to believe in their ability to grow and improve. Celebrate linguistic and cultural diversity as assets. Multilingualism and multiculturalism are strengths, not deficits. Implementing culturally responsive teaching in Algebra 2 isn't without challenges. We need to address our personal biases and assumptions. We all have them, and recognizing them is the first step to overcoming them. Balancing content coverage with language development can be tricky. Remember, slowing down to ensure understanding often leads to faster progress in the long run. We may face institutional barriers and policies that make culturally responsive teaching difficult. Advocate for change where you can and find creative solutions within existing constraints. Engaging resistant students or colleagues can be challenging. Patience, persistence, and leading by examples can help overcome this resistance. This week's readings encouraged me to reflect on my current teaching practices. I was able to identify areas where I can grow in cultural responsiveness. I was able to set specific goals for implementing new strategies in my Algebra 2 classroom. I will start incorporating more cultural diverse word problems and perhaps focus on increasing collaborative learning opportunities. I will seek out professional development opportunities to continue learning about culturally responsive teaching and supporting ELLs. Lastly, come next school year, I will collaborate with my colleagues, share ideas and resources. We are all in this together, and by supporting each other, we can create more inclusive and effective learning environments for all our students. Thank you for listening and have a good day.